Before we get started, take a quick look at this clip, and then we will talk.
Kennedy, you son of a bitch. Get the gun. Get the gun. Get the gun. Stay away from the gun. Stay away from the gun. His hand is frozen. Take a hold of his thumb and break it if you have to. Here's stop. Hold him. Excuse me. Hold him. Get a doctor for the senator. We don't want another outlaw. Get back. Senator, excuse me. Sir, move.
At midnight, June 5th, 1968, Bobby Kennedy, state senator, Democratic nomination for the presidency, a former attorney general, was assassinated. He was assassinated by a Palestinian guy, Sirhan Sirhan. And after all of this great celebration, it was a tragic night because a few months before, Martin Luther King was murdered that same year. Tragedy after tragedy. And we also know that his brother, the president, John F. Kennedy, was murdered. And it made me think, some of you that follow the news may know that Sirhan Sirhan has been recommended for parole. Some people have misread what's going on or heard what's going on. He's been recommended by the parole board to be released. Yeah, he's been in prison for, I think, 53 years, and he's recommended to be released. And now it's up to the governor, Gavin Newsom, the crazy governor in California that's up for recall. And this is going to be interesting because Governor Gavin Newsom has lied to the voters over and over again. He supported the death penalty for the voters when they put it on the ballot. And then once he got into office, he put a pause on it. So you got all of these infamous, famous killers that were on death row that's been paused for them. And Gavin Newsom, he's holding on for dear life for his political career right now. Now he's going to have to deal with this guy. And the reason why I bring this up, this Sirhan Sirhan, because it made me think. On the video, I asked the question, which one of these are not a false prophet? Which one of them are not a false prophet? And what do you think? Guess what? They all are. In some kind of way, some more than others. But in all, they all have in common, they all predicted and said that God told them, that's the key word, God told me. I'm 100% sure. I'm standing on this. God told me Trump will be in office and win November the 3rd. That's what they said. Then once that failed, they continued. Some backed off. There's one there that backed off, but he never fully repented of it and has went on to teach other teachings that don't line up with the scriptures. But the rest of them continue to double down and talk about God told me this. Well, God said that, but it's going to be this date now. God told me this, and this is going to happen. God told me that everybody that's involved with any type of dishonesty or any type of craziness is getting ready to happen to you. You hear people talking about, I've had dreams of people dying and all of this, and you talk about all of this federal, and somehow it's always the military, and all of this weird stuff is going to happen. They're all false. And the reason how I connected that when I was just thinking about this Sirhan Sirhan, that it's a possibility that a guy that killed a government official, I mean, this is a terrorist act. He killed a senator, somebody that was a nominee for president that would have probably beat Richard Nixon. And he killed him. And this man is up for parole. You know, some things in life, you forfeit your rights, period. Killing a government official, you know, in most countries, he would have been executed long ago. But yet, there's some idiots on a parole board sitting there saying, oh yeah, well maybe, and there's guys that's in prison right now for lesser of crimes, doing life for lesser crimes. And here we are, a guy that had hatred because Bobby was talking about, and if you've never seen the movie, Bobby with Lindsay, it's a bunch of actors in there that came out. It won an award. But I mean, it's a wonderful movie. But he's acting like that there's nothing, you know, that this guy is all of a sudden rehabilitated, and it may be. But he has this problem because with Bobby Kennedy that he wanted to send fighter jets or so for the Palestinian people, you know, to give the Israelis, it was like a 7-day war or something, and give them some ammunition to fight them. And he was upset and felt like he needed to take matters into his own hands because he championed him, Bobby Kennedy, and felt like he was betrayed. So he decided to murder him. And what I thought in making this message right here is that every one of them false teachers that you see, and there's dozens more, every one of them that you see are committing spiritual assassination on people as they continue to lie. Every lie that comes out their mouth, every deceptive, where the scriptures are being twisted and just twisted and crumbled in any kind of way to push their message across their false agenda, they're committing spiritual assassination. People are spiritually being blinded, spiritually being assassinated. And guess what? They think that God is going to smile upon their ministry. They think Elijah's streams, what all of these false people that's on there, this is going to, you know, this is just God smiling upon these great people that's supposed to be representing God. They don't represent God. They think they represent God. They don't represent God. They're representing their own self-interest, and most of all, as I always say, they're tools being used by Satan with deceptive practices. And as you know, on this channel, we'll call them out. We'll call them out. And we'll call out any false teacher that's out there deceiving people. Because that's what this channel is all about. Calling Satan out and all his tactics. It's about talking about the issues that the church don't want to talk about and run away from. And we're going to continue to do that. Some don't like it. But if you want to come along, consider joining and going for the journey, because we're going to give God the glory on this channel. But let's think about it. Think about this. If anybody that's come across this video, I know I got my subscribers that'll listen to me, but if you come across this video and got to this point and you've been following anybody that's continuing to push false doctrine and lies, claiming they've been to heaven and hell. One of these people that's on the thumbnail, they claim they've been to heaven and hell, back into heaven, and like dozens and dozens of times. It might beat Kat Kerr's time. I don't know, because Kat Kerr has plenty of claims where she's up and down in heaven and hell. This is not going to work. This is not going to work if that's what you think. God, like I said, is smiling. He's not smiling. He's angry. You see how things are going. You see, I'm still reminded of Egypt when the Pharaoh wouldn't let the people go, and God had to keep trying to break him down, plague after plague, and try to get his attention. And it wasn't until the firstborn, his son, that he cracked finally. But even then, his heart was still hard. And that's how it is. We can continue, guys, those of you that support me, all of us, we continue to pray. We try to get the crack these strongholds that are being held amongst people with these types of people teaching this stuff. And we don't want to be guilty of any type of spiritual assassination on anybody. We want life, because Christ is life. Christ is joy. Christ is peace. Christ is love. That's what we want. So we don't want to become a victim or make victims because of our false teachings and not doing what Christ has told us to do. So thanks for watching. Until the next video, we'll continue to talk. Stay blessed. Take care. Talk to you later.